Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Black, and today we're gonna talk about the Atlanta Hawks, man. The way the Atlanta Hawks finished the season, the roster breakdown, the Trae Young trade, and of course this matchup versus the New York Knicks. Y'all, let's go. You know what's going on? We go back to 2021 when we beat them, and we did what we had to do. But this is a new team. Just gonna get into it, man. So let's get it. All right, honestly, I'm just gonna get Trae Young out the way, and but we haven't won anything in a while, and even with Trae, we had the magical 2021 postseason run. We went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Since then, it's been very downhill. Yeah, like personally, we let key free agents go, and I just feel like they held on to Trae Young too long. And I feel like new management came in and seen that he just wasn't going to be a part of the future, and they made a decision. The way this season started, it started out kind of rocky, if you know, with injuries to KP, Kristaps Porzingis. Shout out to him. He doing his thing out there in Golden State. He did a little something to help them win the other night. With the whole trade, it just wasn't looking good. When the season started, we had high hopes, high expectations, but they just never came to fruition. Now, the Trae Young trade was kind of a head scratcher at first. Turned with CJ and McCollum and Corey Kispert. And it just looks like we were going towards mediocrity. Like we're going to stay just coasting, not really doing anything, not trying to make an impact. Then we get to the All-Star break. We were 26-30. During this time, we were 2-8 with Trae Young when he did play in the games with us. Not a winning record, not looking good. So we get to the All-Star break after the Trae Young trade. We trade Kristaps Porzingis. We bring in Jonathan Kuminga. We trade Luke Kennard. We brought in Yacht Landale, our big man who's hurt right now. Get well soon, man. We really need you in the playoffs. And when those trades happened, I really didn't know what to expect. I felt like Jalen Johnson was making that next step, but wasn't sure if he was ready to take it. And someone else who really stepped up was Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's a baller. Like, when he came from Minnesota, I did not see him balling like this at all. I thought he was going to be a 3-and-D guy, come in, lock some people up, knock down some threes. But he's been really showing his craft, and shout out Shea. He said Nickeil should win MIP, and I agree. Like, it's him or Jalen Johnson. They play on the same team. So I'm cool with whoever one of them win. One of them should win anyway. So again, like I stated, we were 26-30 at the All-Star break. And you know what happened? Magic happened. I don't know how to explain it, but the Hawks come out of the gate and we dropped the first one to Miami. They blew us out. It wasn't really looking good. But then we go on an 11-game win streak. Oh my goodness. The Hawks come out firing, and we came out firing. And I know people will say it was against a weaker schedule, but still, at the end of the day, those are NBA teams, and they had to play. And the Hawks won 11 straight and did what they had to do. Following the trade with Trae Young, like I stated earlier, we went crazy. So we went 28-15 the rest of the way. And if you don't know, we finished 46-36 in the 6th seed. So that 36, which locked us into the playoffs. And we beat Cleveland that Friday night game, and that gave us the ability to be locked into a playoff spot, and that really helped out. That game against the Heat, the last game of the regular season, didn't really matter. I feel like the Hawks were comfortable playing the Knicks, and that's what they wanted to do. But we finished 46-36, and we made the playoffs. It was a major no playing, no nothing, and we did what we needed to do. Now, this playoff matchup against New York, it's two totally different teams. Again, two totally different teams. The only two people from each team that was in that 2021 series was Onyeka Okongwu for the Atlanta Hawks and Mitchell Robinson for the New York Knicks. Nobody else from either of those teams still play there. So that's a major difference in the series. And I feel like pre-Trae Young trade, the signs were there. Even going back to 2-3 seasons ago when we had DeJounte Murray. Even before that, I feel like since Trae Young was on the Hawks, we haven't had anyone else that could really handle the rock, that can handle the ball. It was always in his hands. Everyone else would just stand around. It was heavy pick and roll play with him and Clint, or him and John Collins before Clint got there. And you had guys just standing around, standing in a corner, just ready to catch and shoot. And I just feel like for teams, that was easy to guard. That was easy for them to game playing around Trae Young. So with Trae Young just handling the ball and being a defensive liability at 6'1", it just wasn't good for us. And you could tell that hurt offensively when people knew who Trae Young was getting the ball. Everybody at home knew that he was getting the ball. So it was easy just to send a double at Trae and have him force up a tough shot or try to pass it out last second. And then defensively, like, it was tough. Teams will hunt Trae Young, and rightfully so. You got to find the mismatch on the court. But just being at that size, 6'1", in that small frame, in today's NBA, most guards, point guards, is like 6'5", 6'6". You look at Shea, 6'6", LaMelo, 6'7", Cade Cunningham, he's 6'8". Like, this game is just evolving. It's a different NBA, and I just felt like we couldn't win with him as our best player. Now, after the trade, you could tell that everyone was much more comfortable. It gave guys more of a chance to create. We have multiple ball handlers now. You see Dyson Daniels bringing the ball up, facilitating. Jalen Johnson, Mr. Triple-Double. I believe he had 13 this year, and he balled out. And you seen his playmaking ability. Then you also have the vet, C.J. McCollum. He gonna get his. Hey, C.J. ain't scared to shoot that rock regardless. But also he knows when to take his shot, and he also knows when to settle and facilitate to the others. That's that veteran leadership in him. And just overall, it's a lot more balanced offensively. You could tell with the sets the Hawks run, it's a lot more movement, a lot more guys getting involved. And defensively, like, you got guys like Nikhil locking up, Dyson Daniels, you got Jonathan Kuminga. Then, that forces guys to play defense like C.J. McCollum, who's not known as a defender, but he's been playing a lot of defense lately. If you go back to that Knicks game, it was April 6th. That shot that Jalen Brunson hit before they took the lead, C.J. McCollum was there. Like, that was good defense. Before then, you might not have seen that from him, but he wants to win. You could tell, and he was all over him. Jalen Brunson just made a tough shot. I just feel like this team flows well overall. The ball isn't sticking in one person's hand. Everyone just isn't sitting around for Trae to make a move or win the cut. They're letting their game come naturally. For this playoff matchup against the Knicks, it's going to be very much night and day. The Hawks, we're a fast-paced team, get up and down. We like to run a transition. Versus the Knicks, they're a defensive juggernaut. They're built. I feel like they're built for the playoffs, regardless of anything. And I want the Hawks to win. Like, I'm a Hawks fan from Atlanta, born and raised. Like, of course, I want the Hawks to win. But if you look at the Knicks and their roster, they're big, they're strong, they're physical. You got those long wings like OG and Mikal Bridges. You have Mitchell Robinson, who's a workhorse. And he helped them win that game when we last played. He was giving them second chance baskets, getting the rebounds. He was playing defense, getting steals. Like, he was all over the place. It was crazy. So I feel like him being a force in the paint will really be a problem for us. Because he didn't play in the 2021 series. I believe he had a foot injury. I could be wrong, but he would have made a difference in that series. He's actually playing this time. And I feel like the Knicks are more comfortable in the half court. You have Jalen Brunson. He's their go-to guy. Like, what can I say? Like, he was clutching the fourth quarter when we played that last game, man. It's ridiculous. Like, the shots he makes are just like, wow. Because there aren't easy shots. Not even just against us. If you just look at his craftiness and just his ability to shot make, it's like, wow. That lefty is nice. And he's going to be a driving force in the series. You already know that the Knicks are going to ride or die with him. And I feel defensively for the Hawks, we have the personnel to match up with him defensively. We have Dyson Daniels, who's been guarding him most of the time. We have Nikhil Alexander-Walker. We have Jonathan Kuminga, Zachary Ricochet. Also for the Knicks, like I said, I feel like they're a half-court team. They can score in the half-court. You also have Karl Anthony Towns. Now, honestly, I'm going to be real. I feel like we could beat them if Karl Anthony Towns is cat and not a pit bull. Like he's 7 feet, like 250 something. Like man, I really feel like if Cat doesn't show up and give them 28 to 30 points, not on a nightly basis, but just give them 28, 25, 28 points, I feel like the Hawks could steal 1 or 2 games. In all honesty, on the road, because Cat likes to settle for jumpers. Granted, he's one of the most efficient big men shooting the ball, like if not the most, and can't take that from him. Karl Anthony Towns has a jumper. I just feels like he settles too much. I'm just like, man, if I was 7 feet, the things I'll do, boom, you know what I'm talking about. Stop playing with it. Shaq down there. Anyway, I really feel like if Cat doesn't utilize his size against us, we can steal a couple games in New York and win the series. I really feel like we all know Jalen Brunson's going to get a bulk of the shots. Then Cat's going to get his, of course. But we can't forget about OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, also Deuce McBride off the bench. You know, those guys can win the game. Like OG Anunoby could get a quick 28 on you. You wouldn't even know it. Very efficient. Mikal Bridges, we seen what he did in Brooklyn. Like, he's looking like a star. That's why the Knicks traded those picks for him to partner up with JB, Jalen Brunson, and Josh Hart. You know, going back to today Nova days, I feel like the Hawks are the better all-around team. I really feel like we have more wings to throw at them. You know, we have Nikhil, Dyson, Kuminga, Corey Kisper, like Zachary Ricochet. Like, we have a lot of wings, Mo Gay. Like, it's a lot of things we could do differently, and guys can create and get their own shot. Then, you know, Jalen Johnson, Mr. All-Star. Like, the Hawks traded Trae Young and said, here go the keys. Here you go. This is your ship now. You're the captain now. And Jalen Johnson has really taken advantage of his opportunity. You know, he made the All-Star team this year, and he's been very consistent. Like I said, he had 13 triple-doubles. He's been balling. And you look at the Knicks, like I said, they have Jalen Brunson, Cat. You can't forget about Josh Hart. He's a 6'4" power forward, but he's a workhorse. He gets down there, crashes the boards, and, man, he be working down there. He's not afraid to take big shots, as he showed. He'll pull up for a 3. He's athletic, and he gets active on the glass. So we're going to wrap this video up, man. And my predictions for this series is Hawks in 7. Hawks in 7. Yep. Hawks in 7. You heard it. Caw-caw! That's doing my Hawk call, man. Shout out Big Ticket down there at the State Farm Arena. Would I be surprised if the Hawks win in 6? No. I really feel like we could beat them, and we sat out our starters against the Heat because we won or lost. We was good either way, so I feel like the Hawks felt comfortable playing the Cavs at the 4th seed and us the 5th seed, or the Knicks, them 3 and us 6. So I believe they can win in 7. If they win in 6, I wouldn't be surprised. And that'll be all for this video. I appreciate you for joining the show, clicking on the video, like, comment, and subscribe. And before you go, you know what to do. Send the video to your mama, your brother, your sister, your grandma, your auntie. Send it to them. And your boy Jay Black is out.